My ex tried to live alone on our lease after we broke up, so I made her life hell until she got out. Part 2. I was pissed. Now I was paying for 2 places, 2 leases, 2 sets of utilities. While I wasn't in danger financially, I had some savings. I could not afford to keep paying for 2 apartments for much longer, and it just wasn't reasonable. To make matters worse, during our week of no contact, I found out that she had already started dating another guy. I know, it was super quick after the breakup, but I didn't have any evidence she cheated during our relationship, so I wasn't too upset by it. What did bother me was the fact that my ex was, well, insatiable. We had sex every morning without fail. Like clockwork, she'd have to leave for work by 8:45 a.m., so we'd always have sex around 7:45 a.m. This was one of the positive aspects of our relationship. She was really into it, and she was incredibly good at it. So, I hatched a plan. I figured if I couldn't get my name off the lease through normal means, I could at least make it difficult for her to live there in peace. The next morning, I showed up at her apartment at exactly 7:45 a.m. I parked my truck and waited until 7:50 a.m., knowing her schedule well enough to time it just right. I took the key, unlocked the door, and opened it as fast as possible. As I expected, my ex was in bed with this new guy. I made eye contact with him, and I'll never forget the shocked, maybe even a little ashamed, look on his face. My ex quickly pulled the covers over them, but I wasn't fazed. "Don't mind me," I said casually as I walked in. I went straight to the cupboard, grabbed the Lucky Charms I had left behind, and poured myself a bowl. I added some milk, sat down at the counter, and started eating, completely ignoring them. The guy couldn't move because his clothes weren't anywhere nearby. My ex started yelling at me to leave, but I just calmly continued eating my cereal. "Don't mind me," I said again. "I'm just on the lease. This is still my place." She was absolutely furious and started screaming at me, throwing a couple of shoes at me, missed, and having a full meltdown while I casually ate for about 15 minutes. Finally, I said, "Oh, look at the time. I've got to get to work." The guy didn't move an inch, and my ex was still fuming. I left, feeling pretty satisfied.